Nile Vandam is a youthful Gormati flesh eater and is the younger sister of Matthew Vandam. She has a very kind personality and cared for everyone around her. However, this kindness was her biggest weakness and led to her inner turmoil. Nile was very prone to her potent emotions, and the endless cycle of war to perpetuate death and rebirth set by Mobius viciously exploited this weakness. Speaking of Nile's kindness, she deeply cared for and looked after the city children. The children is what brought her joy the most, and when one of the children, Kyra, was killed in the pillage of her settlement by Kavesi soldiers, Nile lost her only beacon of hope in an unjust world. This loss proved to be her breaking point.
Oh no. Kyra!
Nile.
See? What did I tell you? I was sure they'd show up.
Be sure to strip their corpses. We'll be eating fine this week. Why can't you just leave us the hell alone?
After the death of Kyra, Nile adopted a bitter and cynical perspective on life and became disdainful towards anyone from Cavis or Agnes, believing they are the reason for the tragedies in Ionios.
Why are we bringing those people with us? Oh.
Drop it, Nile.
Matthew!
You know why, surely.
Yeah, but...
Some of our folk were soldiers. Spare a thought for them, yeah?
Makes no sense.
Nile.
Haven't we done enough? We could have just kept to ourselves, but we're still doing this. And now Kyra's dead.
Nile, you here? Why in the dark?
Go away. With or without Mobius, nothing will change. In the end, people always kill people.
Those soldiers were still part of the cycle. I bet they were controlled.
Doubt it. No red irises. Savages. They killed Kyra just to add on a measly few extra days.
Come on. That's worst case.
Matthew, Always in fantasy land.
What?
You can't keep every bloody person happy. How can you not understand it's impossible?
The only true end is the moment you give up. Isn't that what Grandad taught us?
Then show me already! This world of peace where nobody has to die. Make it come true. You think you could do that, do you? You think you've got what it takes?
I...
Well, I don't. I'm barely holding on. You hear me?
This weak state of mind and willingness to condemn the people of Kevis and Agnes to destruction made Nile a prime candidate for Alvis to use as a vessel to amplify his power, akin to how Zanza used Shulk. And to explain why Alvis used Nile as his vessel, I'm going to let A explain the story.
You've hardly changed, to my eyes.
You're saying I'm like him? No need to throw it in my face.
So why do you look like that?
Logos was the male persona, and Numa the female one. Antos was meant to stand somewhere between, forming the Trinity processor. It all adds up to me.
I see. Does Matthew know? So about you and Alpha, what happened? How did you split apart?
It was unforeseen. For that Mobius and man to have that kind of power. To my fortune, it unshackled me from the chains of Antos.
Chains?
As you may know, and this is surely evident to you, Shulk, but Origin, it's based upon the architecture of Antos's core.
I heard about that from Melia. A gift from Alvis, she called it.
Antos was the arbiter, and thus was predicated on the existence, or perhaps the opinions, of the others, Logos and Numa.
In short, without the two of them present, Antos was just a machine.
My original, he was shaped by Klaus, and shouldered the man's regret as he was born into that world. Hence, he was able to help you. But he is no longer. The me that is left is just a machine. And machines know no sympathy. That's why he took steps to erase this world. To create a new future in its place. Debris of the past, and the noise that permeates the present. Your lives are to him redundant. His conclusion that only new life, that of the people of the city, ought to be preserved. Antos proclaimed himself Alpha and chose to leave for a new world, shepherding the citizens along with him, while erasing the old world in his wake.
However, N's intrusion caused something of a setback.
That is not all it did. In any case, I was able to separate from Alpha. The memories of traveling with you, and all other faint recollections, they compose me. You could call me his conscience.
So, here's what this conscience or whatever is saying, then. There's no life that deserves to be left behind. All life is worth saving, more or less.
Yes, that's the gist of it. I suspect that if Logos or Numa were here now, they would surely say the same thing.
Yeah, I bet. So why tag along with the kid?
You've good reason, don't you?
For Alpha to command some form of power in this world, he needs a body to inhabit. Yes, like how Zanza once lived in you, and Matthew's sister.
I could make an entire video on the tragic story of Antos, but that'll have to wait. As for Nile being chosen as a vessel, Nile is Agnian, and therefore core crystals get priority for being a vessel. However, the most crucial factor for choosing Nile is because of her extreme emotions. Raw emotion is what grants Alvis power, and Nile was a perfect vessel for that.
But why would he choose her in particular? There were so many in the city to choose from.
She's got Agnian ancestry. In terms of hereditary traits, core crystals get dominance. My guess? Maybe it's because he's got injured when we fought. Maybe she's got whatever he's lacking.
There's more to it. Her emotions also factor into it. Or that may in fact be the most crucial element of all.
Say, what's so great about this world? Really? All the thieving for one's own gain, the greed. Life has less value in this world than a piece of dirt. This is your world of peace.
That wasn't my sister back there. Nile is the kindest person I know. She looked after the city's children, and they loved her.
But that's just it. When a person loses that, what do? They change. What she said last night, that's the way she truly felt. And to Alpha, those emotions are the perfect fodder. Right now, she's a great deal more indispensable to him than me.
Not only that, but the two had very similar views on life, but obviously executed them separately. Both of them only saw value in the life of the city people, whereas Alvis wanted to take all of the people of the city and create a new world. Nile simply wanted to ignore the troubles in existence of those of Kevis and Agnes. Her ideology somewhat paralleled Mobius in that she just wanted to stay in her perceived reality and living in the delusion that everything else will just go away.
What, you think our fight's still not over? Can't things stay like this?
The soldiers, they're still fighting. Right at this moment.
Personally, if things could just stay this way, I'd be happy.
You serious? If Granddad could hear you, he'd lay you out flat.
Yeah, I know what he'd say. The soldiers are the roots from which we grew. But still, we are who we are, right? And them and the Mobius, they're a whole different story. No reason we can't coexist.
Nah, don't give me that. Come on.
There's no need to fight if we just stay out of each other's way. It's worked out fine for the past 15 years. I guess for you, it's all or nothing, huh?
Huh?
Those children are everything to me, you know? What choice have I got?
To the defense of Nile, this delusion isn't just native to her. Many people of the city, even generations apart, share the same mindset as stated by Monica.
All right. So, when the world is back to rights, then what?
The people you've seen here, the way they live their lives, that could be everyone. Babies, children, adults, the old, they're all a part of nature's cycle.
And that would go for us too?
There'll be more to life than just fighting to survive. We'll weave the tale that we were always meant to tell.
Don't give up. 10 years? You kids deserve better. The only thing that can change all this is the will of Ouroboros. You kids, and you alone.
Though, Some of us around here still ain't too keen on the idea.
What?
So, those people from before,
They're happy living in the moment. As long as they can hide away and cover their eyes, they don't give a damn about the rest.
So our lives mean nothing to it?
If they can't see or hear you, then as far as they're concerned, you don't even exist.
closing their eyes to what's in front of them.
A lot of folks here think that way.
But that's just like Mobius. Then the only difference is whether or not they benefit directly.
You catch on quick. I can see why my dad chose you guys.
Nile shares a similar delusion with Shania, but I'll get into that later. Nile's delusion of wanting a perfect world from her perspective is what led her to be vulnerable and fall for Alvis's deceptive and manipulative promise to further his own goals. Her emotions were so strong, and she would do anything to fulfill her delusional dream, again like Mobius and Shania.
You think this weather we're having is just perfect?
Nile, how come you're...
It's such a wonderful place, isn't it? I've always dreamed of this. A place we could live together. A place to call home. And not just for you and me, but for everyone we know.
Every who? When did they...
Taking 480,000 settlers to the Eta Carina Nebula in the Carina Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way.
Hey, miss! I'm hungry!
Can we have a snack?
Okay. All right, wash your hands first and then make a line. Because today I've made something extra special.
Hooray!
The ninth vessel, departing in July, heralds a new generation of ultra-long-range colony ships, known officially as Philadelphia-class motherships.
There's plenty to go around. Just let me know if you want seconds.
Meaning that if all goes to plan, the project will send a total of 10 million people out into the great beyond. Now for our next story. It concerns the Saviorite Human Rights Protection Bill brought to Congress last summer. Earlier,
See?
we heard that
Isn't this great? There's no room for woes or worries here.
and as the Justice Ministry
Nothing to ruin our happiness.
on human rights debates once more on its validity,
Out there,
the possibility
there's a
that
world
proposals
like
may be
this
scrapped
waiting.
seems more and more
A place for new lives to live as they please.
The proposed measure
Just
sparked
like
a lot of
this.
public debate.
Nile,
So many will
you
be watching
can't...
the government and the commission very
It was
closely.
promised to me. By him.
Him?
The person with the silver hair and kind eyes.
And indeed, that seems to be exactly what's happening right
He gave us this beautiful world.
And now, Dmitry
He said if we simply cast away the old lives,
has issued a statement concerning the matter at hand. Please stay
we can set out unburdened and all this can be ours. You see? We don't need any of this old life.
I mentioned earlier how Nile is similar to Shania, and I meant it. They both wanted to keep everything the way it is from their respective perspectives without consideration of everyone else in the world. Ironically, as similar as they are, they have complete opposite views on life. While Nile wanted to preserve the perfect world of the city, Shania wanted to preserve the cruel world of the endless now created by Mobius.
Lies! This is all lies! Don't think your ludicrous stories are gonna change my mind. Alpha! He made me an inviolable promise. He said this is what awaits us at the end of our road. He said we could make a world like this.
Oh, come off it. Really? You think that?
Of course I do. Everything that we were denied is right here for us.
It's obviously a scam! Wherever you go, it's the same! You leave them, It only ends one way.
Oh, so we should just let them keep killing each other? Killing to live? What a load of crap! Good riddance to anything those butchers want to save!
They're not things. They're lives. And yeah, I can't forgive Mobius either. Reaping lives like grain during harvest. But come on. What crimes have their victims ever committed? What did they do? They weren't given a single choice. They were just trying to make the most of each moment, like us.
Everyone you know died for that! Are you okay with that, Matthew?
Course I'm bloody not! Truth is, what you're talking of doing would make you exactly the same as Mobius. Exactly the same. If you build a new world on that foundation, it'll only end one way. Like this. This here. And this is the future you want? You see? Nile?
We're not the same at all.
Sorry?
You said that we were the same, but we're nothing like each other.
You sure changed your tune. I'm seeing some newfound determination. You get a little pep talk from your friends, huh?
Nobody gave me anything. It's because I'm part of the team. I'm only just starting to figure it out now. But I'm gonna change. Both me and this world.
I won't let you. I'll never let that happen.
If you stop us, everything's just going to stay the same.
It won't stay the same!
Shania!
What's so natural about the life you want? A life you only get one shot at? At any point, someone could come along and tell you, okay, that's it, time to go.
And who are you to say that life's worse?
I know more than you. It's madness wanting a world like that. The best world for us is a world that at least gives us another go. We fail, we try again. We might even do better next time round.
Shania, enough now. We're made to fight, to kill each other. Every single day, just hoping to see another dawn.
Either way, we're still fighting for survival, aren't we? Am I crazy? Am I saying something strange? Because I don't think so. I genuinely don't.
The fixation on preserving a subjective way of life is a big theme in Xenoblade 3, and Nile and Shania represent it pretty well. Both were affected by the war and lived in a similar situation, except Shania was touched a lot deeper than Nile was because of her upbringing, and ultimately became Mobius. If Nile suffered from an unforgiving upbringing like Shania, she very well may have also become Mobius. Her ideals align with them pretty well. However, even with how set Nile was on living in a perfect world, no matter what, she eventually had a change of heart and gave up on her forlorn dream.
Hey.
Matthew.
Hey. You okay? Then let's seize it together. Our true future.
I'm sorry.
It's nothing. Once I found us some friends, I'll come home again.
Get back safe.
Sure. Alrighty. Time to start rebuilding the world. Matthew Vandham is out of here!
You're standing at a loss in front of a door that's been closed for so long. With your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? Until you open it, you cannot know. Afraid to see what could be on the other side. Oh, can't you see how much I feel the same as you? It seems we just need to let it all go free. I've seen that look before, the stare of your fearful looking eyes, that quiet voice inside. What do you hear? Will you give up and stay where you belong? Afraid your time, it just might take too long. And you won't know unless we keep on trying. Now we need the strength to carry I see you by the door. So just walk through, don't take too long, 'cause everything you've said